I'm the Stake Indexing Director, and I'm going to show you today how to index a batch from the U.S. Maine Faylene Hutton Cemetery Collection. And hopefully this will be useful to you even if this project is no longer available, or if you want to index another project. Hopefully there'll be some more general things as well, some tips on how to use the program that you can use. So the first thing you need to do is make sure you have the project batch downloaded. And if you haven't done that yet, then you go up here, click on Download Batch. Sometimes it takes a little while to come up. Okay, and then it will show you all the projects that are available at the moment. And right now I have my project preferences set to English projects of all difficulty levels. You can also click on Show All Projects. There you go, you get all the different languages and difficulty levels, and you can change your preferences by clicking Edit My Preferences. We won't do that right now, but we'll go back to Show Preferred Projects, and then they're alphabetical, so you would scroll to where, there you go, there's the project. Click on how many batches you want to download. I've already got some batches, so I'm not going to download any more right now. Click Cancel, but you would click OK if you wanted to download a batch. Okay, and then either the batch will open up automatically, or it's here in your list, you click Work on Batch. And again, this will take a couple minutes, a couple seconds to open up. Okay, and the first thing is in the Header Data tab for this project. You need to go through and check that all of the images are in fact images that belong to this project, that they're readable, and this is what you do for any project. You're going to click on the image type. Usually it's normal. This one is normal. Sometimes you'll come up with a blank image or two in a row that are exactly the same. Sometimes no extractable data image, that would be one where it shows information that is not relevant to the project, or it could be simply unreadable if it's too dark or too blurred or something. But so this is normal. I will just go through and I'm just hitting N now on my keyboard for all of these as a shortcut. Okay, and there's 10 in this batch. Okay. So then we go to, you can either use table entry or form entry. Some projects will have the choice, and it doesn't matter, whatever you enter in one. So for example, if I enter the surname here, Stewart, it will show up in the form as well. Okay, I prefer table entry, so we're just going to stick to this tab. Okay, this project also has highlights, which is really helpful, and they're able to do that in this project because all of the cards have the same format, pretty much all of them. So the highlights will automatically jump from one field to the next. If you don't like that, you can always go up here to View and turn off Show Highlights, so the blue box goes away. But I like them, so we'll leave them on. Move the cursor out of the way. And now I've already typed in the surname for this one. You can either click to the next field with your mouse, or I like to just use the Tab key on my keyboard. So you can't see that, but that's what I'm doing. I'm clicking on the Tab key. Okay. Enter the given name just as it is. Right, birthday. You see the blue box has skipped down here to this line, to this field. It's written really small, born, day, month, year. Okay, in this case we only have the year, but we don't need to enter anything for birthday or birth month. It's not a required field, so we'll just tab over those. Birth year, 1794. Okay, same for the death. Day and month are not given on this card, but here is age. Now age, generally we never calculate the age in any project. It would be an exception. It would be unusual if they did say you could calculate an age. I've never seen a project where we're allowed to do that. So in this one, the age field is blank, and so we will also leave that blank. Okay, cemetery. And now this project, they've changed the instructions since the beginning, so if you did index this before, the instructions now are that you can go over here always to the field help to find out what the specific instructions are. It says, type the name of the cemetery that was written on the record, type the term or terms as they were written. Do not correct misspellings or expand abbreviations. Okay, so this is a type what you see case. That's what we'll do. Okay, burial, city, or town. Now for this one, we are allowed to correct misspellings if it was misspelled. It says here, if the burial town or city was misspelled, spell it correctly. Or if it was abbreviated and you can determine what the abbreviation stands for, type the complete name instead of the abbreviation. Okay, so I'm going to type in what it says here, Corinth, tab, and we see that the system accepts that, so that's fine. That means it's in the lookup list and it's not misspelled. Okay, burial county. Again, very nicely they've written it out for us here. If it was abbreviated, once again we see over here, if it was abbreviated, then we would type the full name. And hopefully we'll have a couple of those, so you'll see what happens in that case. But for now, Penobscot is correct. Okay. How many records do we want to add? None. There's just one principal on this record. So that's actually an important point. Should be aware in this project we only are indexing the names that are here in the top section. Okay, there are other names down here and those do not get indexed. Okay, so next one, Stewart. Now I just typed the S and you see the autofill automatically filled in the rest of the name, Stewart, and I just want to check and make sure it's the same spelling, and it is. So I'm going to go ahead and tab, and I don't need to do extra typing that way. This time we only write WM, just like it says there. Given names, again, we're not allowed to expand given names. It says here, if a name is abbreviated, type it as it was written on the document. So even though we know that this means William, we have to just type WM. Okay. Going over to the birthday, here we have absolutely nothing in that field. We tab over everything. Death day, this time we have the day, the month, and the year. Okay, age we also have filled in for us, so we copy that in, 72. Cemetery, type what is written. Norwich Walk seems to be correct, and Somerset. Okay. Stewart, William, birthday is empty, death day 8, May 1874, age is 80. The months get left off. We only index full years, as it says over here, index only full years. Okay, cemetery, Daggett. Okay, and now, why is that red? It's not wrong. Red just means that the system does not recognize the name, but we can double check and see that's really what it says. I'll make it bigger here, up here. You can zoom in. If you want to check, make sure that's really an A and not an O or something. Daggett. Okay, that's what it says, so that's what we're going to leave it as. Burial, city, or town. And the county. Okay. And again, so every time here, you don't see what I'm doing, but I just always hit the enter key, the return key, when it asks me how many records I want. And the 0 is already filled in there. You see, and so all I need to do is hit enter. You could also click on OK if you wanted, but so enter, and it makes that go away. Stewart, another William Stewart this time. Okay, now you see here it says 7/6/1818. How do we know? Does that mean July 6th, or does that mean the 7th of June? And we can look here. That's pretty handy. You see here that it says 15 months. That has to be the 15th of January. There aren't 15 months. So we know that the day is coming first, and that's in fact the way it is on every card that I've seen in this project, that they're putting the day first. Okay, so that may be unusual for you if you're used to the American way of putting the month first, but it is always the day first, and then the month, 1818, 15, January 1899. Once again, we do not calculate the age field is empty, so we leave that blank. Fill in everything else. Okay, going on. Stuart William. Okay, now this time it has a junior, and in this project there is no field for titles and terms, and we never put titles and terms into the given names field. Here you can read it in the field help. Do not include titles or terms such as baby or junior with the name. Okay, so we won't, we just simply leave that out. Birthday, once again we only have the year. Same thing for the death, only have the year. Age is blank. Cemetery is the same as before. Corinthian, just checking that the spelling is the same. Corinth and Penobscot. Okay, and the autofill is really cool. You only need to type in the first letter. You don't even need to use the shift key. It will automatically capitalize for you. Oops. Okay, Stuart, William, lots of William Stewarts, but these are not duplicates. They all have different information on them. Okay, here we have something unusual. What should we do with this slash between Fern and Dale? And if we go over and read what it says do not index numbers or punctuation except hyphens and apostrophes when they were written on the document as part of the name. Okay, so this punctuation, the slash, is not a hyphen or an apostrophe, so we are going to leave it out and just write Fern Dale like that. And again, the system doesn't recognize that. That doesn't mean it's wrong. It just means it's not in the list, and we just need to double check that it's correct. Okay, in Somerset, okay. Stuart, William, okay, and again we have here a title or term, father, and you can check down here, you see Susan M., wife, mother, so that's probably just what was written on the headstone. That was father and mother. We don't that's not part of the name, so we don't index that. 1820, 24 June 1878, and 57. Even though it's more than 57 and a half, we always round down. If fractions of years were recorded, round down to the nearest full year. Okay, so we leave it as 57. Cemetery, okay, again, we are just copying exactly what it says there. Okay, Stuart. Now here we need to be sure we pick up that middle initial, A. I know it sort of looks like a D, but it's an A. I've seen this handwriting a lot, and you can compare it to the A here, William, A here in Hancock, A here in Stewart. That's an A. 1861. 1910, age, we don't calculate that. Cemetery, Riverside, Riverside Town. Okay, and now the county here we have one that's abbreviated, and if you're not familiar with the counties of Maine, you may not have them memorized. That's no problem, so we're going to type in as much as we can figure out Han, and maybe if you're not sure, you think, oh, is that a C? It's going to be Hancock, but you know, it could be maybe an E or something. So we're going to go to the lookup list. Sorry, I did that too fast. See, here there's this arrow. Click on that, and you go down here to lookup. And then they have here a list of all of the counties of Maine. And they're not too many, so if you do this project quite a bit, you'll just memorize them pretty quickly. And we see here Hancock is the county, so we're going to accept that. There we go. Next one, another William A. Stewart, but again, it's not a duplicate because it has different birth and death dates, different information. Demerit. Okay, here, W. Peru. Make that a little bigger, you can see better. W Peru. And once again, we know if it was abbreviated and you can determine what the abbreviation stands for, type the complete name instead of the abbreviation. So we'll do that. You can also use the lookup list and see there's West Peru. Okay. And here we have another county that's abbreviated, OXF. I bet you can guess already that's Oxford, but we'll just use the lookup list to be sure. There it is, Oxford, accept. Okay. Are we in D this time? 23 April 1891, 83, Union Common. And again, that just means that it's red because the system didn't recognize it, but that's what it says, so that's what we leave it as. And Knox County. Okay, so that's the last one. And now I'm just going to hit Tab once again. And it automatically goes into Quality Check. Okay. And all Quality Check does is it means it goes over any fields, any required fields that you might have left empty, or any of those red marked fields where the system didn't recognize what you entered. Okay, and Daggett is what it says, so accept that. Ferndale, accept. Mount Hope, CG, yes, and Union Common. Okay, and that's it. Submit the work. It'll take a few seconds to upload the work. And then it will take us right back to the list of batches, and you can go ahead and start working on your next batch. So I hope you found that helpful, and have fun with indexing.